Hello and welcome to Roasting the World, where we offer an adversarial perspective on today's cultural issues, where we do it for the intelligent culture. Today's issue to be roasted is investments. We have special guest,
How you doing? I'm Chris Robinson.
and he's here to talk to us about investments, stock portfolios, cryptocurrency, bitcoins, investment properties, and those type of things. Because he's definitely helped me with some stock purchases over the last couple of years. I remember last year we discussed some things, and I went into the market as a novice, and I was able to go in, purchase some stocks that were pretty steady, but had dropped, and pick some of those up. And then when they went higher, I was able to maximize my profit, pull my money out. And I think that's a certain type of trading, but I know there's more long-term trading sometimes when you leave it in there. And there's, other type of Bitcoins and different things like that. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do, about your company, and a little bit about what people need to know in order to be successful? Because a lot of people maybe haven't done investments in their life. Maybe they didn't have the money or didn't have the knowledge base, but now they do.
Well, like I said, my name is Chris Robinson, and I'm an investment consultant, also executive director with LMF organization that stands for Loyalty Makes Family. And so today we're just gonna talk about investment, and the key to this thing is basically getting in the game. You just want to be in the game to win. You got to be in it to win it. So you don't want to be on the sideline, and that's the thing with what I see in our community. A lot of times we're just on the sidelines watching the rich keep getting rich. So we want to. If you want to get into the game, you just gotta want to get into the game. So
How do you get into the game, so to speak?
So for one, you can talk to somebody who's been in the game, or you can start doing your own research. Like if you really want to make money, the key to it is research. Do research. I hear a lot of times people say, "I'm smart. I graduated high school," and it's like, or they graduated college, and it's like you have to continue to further educate yourself. For one, you don't want to just limit yourself to high school diplomas or different degrees. You want to always keep educating yourself. So that's one, is do research. And two is, budget. Budget your money and put some to the side towards investments and things of these nature.
What types of sites or where do they go to do this research? Because it's gonna be a little bit difficult for me trying to look at the S&P from in the stockbrokers magazine, because they may have some language that I don't understand. And then what do you recommend as far as saving to be able to have that initial investment?
Okay, so for one place, we are in the age of the internet, in the age of information these days.
Right.
So you could just basically go on the internet and type in, how do I invest? How do I save? YouTube has multiple sources. And so I recommend, just going on YouTube and typing this in and looking up like somebody like ourselves, or they like just different people that's on there that you think you can relate to, or you can just understand the type of language that they are talking. And you can just start right there, but it's all on the internet. And like you said, if you are somebody who prefers to read, just go get certain books. That got Rich Dad Poor Dad is one. It's just different books out here and the internet that you can get a lot of information from.
Right. So, as a starter investor or novice investor, I took very small increments and maybe bought $20 worth of American Airlines, so to speak, or which was a varying up and down stock at the time, but now it's gone back up. Or there are things that are more steady, such as like the railroads or something like that. I believe that you mentioned, and I did dabble a little bit of that. Can you tell us a little bit about jumping in, making your money, jumping out, or keeping things steady and holding it over time? Because I remember us having that discussion. That's one of the main reasons that I was able to invest and be successful was from that advice. Can you give them a little bit of insight to that thought process?
Okay, the thought process for me is, for one, you gotta listen to what the rich are saying. When the rich are saying that the economy is down, and you don't want to get involved because the economy is down. If you don't have money, a lot of money, then that's your time and that's your cue to get involved, because that means that the stock market is low and the stock's gonna continue to go up and down and up and down. That's just what they do. So when you hear that the economy is low, that should be your cue to pay attention to these certain stocks and these certain these certain investments. That's your time to get in. And you just wanna, like we said, you can just look at like I said, get in when it's low, because that means you're getting a bargain for something. Like per se, we don't want to give too much we're just giving financial advice, so I don't want you to go buy into these
specific
names.
stocks.
Yeah. But we know big companies, like who big companies are, like McDonald's, Burger Kings, and Telsa. All these big names, when they say the economy is down, then that means you can get these at a bargain price. And that's when you want to get in. That's your time and your cue to get involved right then.
So I've noticed that once those stocks go up $30, $100, you've made $100. Some people are going to pull that money out and say, oh, I made $100, and keep it moving. But some people are going to let that ride and see that wave going up and down and let it and hold on to it for years. Can you tell us the difference between those two types of trading and what the benefits or
Yeah, that's more of like, okay, so both ways are totally fine. Like I said, you want to just be in the game, and that's the key. So when you do certain stocks, like if you even see that you're making a profit, it's cool to pull it out then, because you just made that $100 and you profited.
Right.
And so when you pull that out, just keep in mind that you just exited the game. You know what I mean? So you done profit, but you out the game now. You on the sideline looking again. So what you want to do is you want to pay attention to that graph and see when is it your time to jump back in. So that's the key. So the things like we was mentioning about the railroads, and there's certain things that just like, they gotta forever ship stuff from here to here and cross countries and all this. So certain stocks are more longevity holds, and they also pay dividends. So like the railroads and stuff, things like that, you can get in and get dividends from being involved, like for having a certain amount of stock. So it's all about just paying attention to how volatile that stock is. And the more volatile, like for me, the more volatile the stock is, once you pay attention to that graph, the easier it is to know when to buy and when to get out, because it's going to constantly make dramatic changes. So if it's going up real high, that's your time to sell. When it drops real low, you want to buy back in. So when you profit, you can take that profit and just pay attention to that graph and wait till it drops back down. And when you buy in with your new $100 plus your old investment that you have in, you're able to gain more shares of it. So when it goes back up, that's when you sell again and keep that profit coming. Wait till it goes back down, buy back in, get more shares. When it goes back up, sell and keep your profit going. Now, like I said, that's one way. Or you can also pay attention to dividend stocks, where you just, if you don't want to look at the graph. Say you got kids or you got 2-3 jobs, so you don't want to pay attention to these graphs as much. That's when you just invest in more stable stocks or more stable investments. And that's kind of where you just put your money in there. You know, you got money to the side that you budget for investment, and that's how you go into the longevity part of it. You just put it in there, and it's gonna always work for you. Like the stock market, like I said, is always going up and down. It's always going up and down. So as long as your money is in there, it's moving for you, and that's what you want your money to ultimately do. You want it to move. You want it to move for you while you over here taking care of your kids and, you know, working at your jobs. You want your money that you have somewhere that's for investment to constantly keep moving for you and working for you. And that's how we, that's how we break the cycle in our community on
Absolutely.
on being last on the totem pole.
Right, and that's so important. I was looking at things such as, outside of just stocks, cryptocurrency, Dogecoin, or something like that,
Dogecoin.
Bitcoins, even investing in property, real estate properties, rental properties, CDs, where you purchase something for $1,000, next year it's worth $1,500 or $2,000, and that's not a big gain, but it is something. Can you tell us about the variation of things outside of just pure S&P and stocks and the stock market trading, things like that, but just something outside of that, or with the other types of currency exchanges and things like that?
Yeah, see, so now it's kind of like a wave thing. It's kind of like a wave thing. I'm part of, like, what kind of got me involved in this was I was one of the ones who heard Bitcoin back in the day, and they telling you invest $1, you're going to be rich one day. And,
right.
And it seemed like it's a scam at the time. That's what I thought. I'm like, man, what is this? What is this new thing? Like, it just seemed like part of the scams that go around. But what we see now, that it's not a scam. It's actually people are getting rich off of it. If you did invest you $1, you might have been a millionaire today.
Right now, right.
So it's kind of like just paying attention to the wave. Like I said, you want to be part of the game. And in this game, you just want to pay attention to these different things that's coming about. And this cryptocurrency is one of them. This is a new thing. Like it's actually been around for a while, but it's gaining more momentum. It's gaining more publicity, and so and you, like I said, you just want to research this because it's something that's worth researching because your kids' future's involved, your future is involved, and I don't want you to miss the boat on what's happening. And
that's important to be ahead of the curve, where traditionally, historically, our culture has been behind the curve in a lot of these things, and that's how they create generational wealth, and that's how the rich keep getting richer, because we don't know the game. So if we share the code, so to speak, on what to do in order to maximize our profitability and circulate our dollar in our community, because we need to also invest in our own businesses, like other cultures do, so that our dollar stays in our, and not even dollar, but just our investment stays in our community more than 8 minutes, or other people from other countries. It's not a problem because we're a community of inclusiveness, but we need to start some of those same businesses or other businesses in our own communities. That way we're able to get some of those dollars that are our dollars and circle them back in and build up other businesses so that we can hire ourselves. Also, instead of having to, wait on someone else to give us a job or a handout or so to speak. Like a famous director said, build your own table, so to speak. So I'm kind of looking at it under those terms also. And it's coming down time to the end of our discussion. So what we do at the end is we have what's called roast time, where you get to roast or toast the topic that we're speaking about. So as far as investments, profitability in those areas, do you roast or toast investment for our culture? Now, roast is when you don't want to do it. Like so like, no, I'm burning it up. I'm burning on it. But toasting is when you salute it, and you're saying cheers, and this is something that we need to do more of.
Well, based on this investment conversation, I'm going to give you both of them. I'm going to roast one and I'm going to toast one.
Okay.
So what I'm going to roast is in our community, what I see a lot of, as I've been seeing a lot of lately, is in our community we like to play these scratch offs. And I talked to somebody about it one day, and he was like, "I'm a professional gambler," and I was like, man, that's not really a thing. Like, I wouldn't want to be a professional gambler because I'm seeing you scratch these tickets every day and come up with nothing. So I want to roast that because that's not the move in my eyes, because like all that money that's going towards these scratch offs, and that's just one person. If you look at all of us in that community, now I'm not knocking the scratch off people, and some people might have won every now and then, but I'm saying for the majority of our community, for us to overcome these certain cycles, all that money that's going towards that, you can put in cryptocurrency. It's a lot of cryptocurrencies and stuff that's cheap right now. That's cheaper than these $2 tickets. That's cheaper than these $20 tickets that you can invest in and watch your money grow. The very next day, you can guarantee you that you winning $2 or you winning. It's gonna constantly, like I said, keep working for you. That's what I was speaking about earlier. That money actually works for you when you investment. Once you do this scratch off and you see you don't win, that it's gone. That it's gone. Somebody else is rich, whoever just received your $2. So I'm going to roast that part of it with the lottery tickets, because that's not good for our community. That's leaving us in the behind, in my opinion.
Right.
Now, I also want to toast, like we just said, to this investment thing and getting into the game, because once you get into this game, you will see that your money is not going to leave as quickly as that scratch off is. So that alone should, if you constantly just keep putting money into this system that works for you, who knows, by the time your daughter is 18, she's already a millionaire based off of your investments that you made a few years back. So that's kind of the way I feel about it right now. You got any last words?
Well, I just want to say I appreciate you coming on as a guest. And for the family out here, until next time, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And we'll see you next time for another exciting episode of Roasting the World.
Peace.